Morning, everybody. It's Jim Lukens again from Media Solutions Corp in Chandler, Arizona. Welcome to the screen share we're having this morning to cover the new Digital Fusion DVC, or Digital Virtual Chain, which is scheduled to kick off on November 1st. Well, everybody, first of all, I want to thank everyone for being on the call. We are really excited about the launch of the new MSC Digital Virtual Chain, of which most everybody on this call is already committed to the November 1st launch. I will let everyone know on the call that at the end of the call, by end of business day today, I will mail out to everybody, U.S. mail, a 8-page brochure that explains all of the elements that I'll be touching on today. So you'll have a hard copy overview. And then early next week, we will have a YouTube recording of this presentation, so that if you wanted to review parts of it or whatever, you'll get that YouTube link and you can fast forward to the parts you don't want to listen to and be able to review it. The MSC Digital Virtual Chain, to introduce it, this is the first digital virtual chain for independent grocers in the nation. The stores that are starting with this DVC November 1st will be charter members, and by charter members, it's more than just calling the group something that, yes, you were part of the very first digital virtual chain, but it's a situation where the MSC digital virtual chain requires 100 stores, and of those 100 stores, our fees were $100 per store. Charter members, those of us that are starting on November 1st, doesn't matter how many stores we have in the group, we expect to get to 100 very quickly, but it's probably likely to start in November with 30 to 50. Those folks will be charter members. No other provider can bundle these services like the way that we're putting them together for you, and no other provider can match the cost of participating. Your store will have the digital promotions, and you'll have the benefit of being part of a chain. And in most cases, over my career, when I've talked about independence, we talk about competing with chains and the things that independents can do that chains cannot do. We're turning the tables, and you're maintaining 100% of your independence in marketing and doing what you feel you need to do as an independent, but we're also providing you an umbrella as being part of a chain, so that you can execute promotions that ordinarily you wouldn't be able to do as a standalone independent store. As our DVC grows to 100 stores and more, there's opportunities with CPG sponsors and vendors. And when this happens, there'll be the opportunity to offset your cost of participation, the weekly fee, and there may also be opportunities where we, MSC, can provide you with more features for all the stores at a lower cost. So it's really, it's not critically important, but it's important that we get CPG sponsorship, and we believe that after the first of the year, we'll have that critical mass, and we'll be able to start looking at getting funding to go against your initial expense in getting this group started up. MSC is going to shoulder the responsibility of keeping all DVC members in the leading edge of grocers for digital marketing services. So we know that technology is going to be different a year from now than it is today. And we're going to shoulder the responsibility of making sure that those that are in the DVC have the most current technologies and have the most current digital marketing services available. It's not that we're not going to do that for our other customers, but DVC members will be the first to get any of those services. MSC will strive to minimize any additional work required by DVC members to participate. And I'm going to repeat this. We have heard loud and clear that independent stores like digital marketing, but they do not have the dedicated staff in every store to do the planning and to do the execution, and that we need to help by making everything turnkey so that there's the heavy lifting we'll be doing. And yes, there are some things that each store will need to do, but we're recognizing that we need to take responsibility for the heavy lifting to make this change successful. And we'll talk about those items here in the course of the morning. Now, I want to let everyone know that the digital virtual chain didn't happen by itself overnight. Here in Chandler, those that are helping to pull this together and will be supporting it every week is Janet Smith, our Director of Operations. She oversees the day-to-day running of MSC and works with all the employees here. Blaine Jones is our lead technologist and developer. I'll say Blaine was the brains behind putting together all of our technologies so that we can create a DVC and make it possible. Shane Massey is our project coordinator. There are lots and lots of details in this program that need to be attended to, and Shane will be able to direct our staff to make sure that things happen when they need to happen. Paulino Leon, many of you have met Paulino. He is our lead person for digital signage for online shopping, and for any MSC program that needs to be explained, Paulino is our go-to person for all those programs. Christy Cruz and Nick Odom are responsible for web, print, graphic design. Edward Ellsworth is our lead developer for the store apps, including the Bright Owl app or the store branded apps that each one of you have or will have. Justin Carver is our lead developer for digital signage. Every member of the DVC will have digital signage that's provided, and Justin's responsible for that technology. Brigitte Zavala is the lead copywriter, content development, and responsible for social media. And last but not least is Matt Saunders. And Matt, I'm saying, is the Digital Fusion lead. So he's responsible for the entire program. But more importantly, he's the decision maker, the tiebreaker, and the diplomat. And as you can imagine, trying to run a chain of independence, even though we're going to be talking about running 10 items per week or 10 events per week, not 150 ad items, 10, still there's no possible way any of us can pick the perfect item every week. And we need someone to take responsibility, to lead the program, make the decisions, and break those ties and explain what we're doing is in the interest of the group. And I'll tell you that Matt is more than qualified to do that. His background is, for those of you that have been to Phoenix and been to our office, you've met Matt, or maybe at some different shows you've met him. He joined our company about a year ago. His background is he was Chief Executive Officer for Associated Wholesale, a $2.3 billion distributor. Prior to that, he was president of Merchants Distributors in Hickory, North Carolina. If you're familiar with MDI and the Lowe's stores out in the Carolinas, he was president of that company, and they were a $2 billion company. I first met Matt when I competed with him. He was at SuperValu corporate headquarters in Eden Prairie, starting back in 1986. He served the role as VP of Merchandising for the SuperValu $7 billion corporate retail business. And prior to that, he was VP of Sales and Marketing for the wholesale side, $17 billion in wholesale for sales and marketing. And he served roles as being responsible for category management and marketing, merchandising, business development, retail operations. And we'll never find the perfect person to make every decision right, but I'll tell you, Matt has a lot of years experience, and at least for November and December, when we're kicking this program off, we'll be leaning heavy on Matt to help work with each of you to make sure that we get the right items and that we do whatever we can to make this program successful. So our DBC is going to kick off. It's a minimum of 29 stores. It'll be more than 29, but on this call, we've got members from groups of stores that are going to be part of that November 1st kickoff. We have handpicked 78 additional stores that we're going to, have already invited to the November 1st kickoff. Our goal is to have over 100 stores, and please, I apologize if I've missed your stores on the on this page, because we do have stores that are on this call today that I didn't list on here, but we do have a large group of store staff from Sunshine Foods and some other groups in the Midwest. This is a map showing the DBC, and the green represents the confirmed members who are starting on November 1st. The red represent groups of stores that we're talking to join the DBC November 1st, and they make up over 100 stores. We have not openly invited every retailer from Affiliated Foods Midwest and from AWG or any other wholesalers. We're starting with, we're not necessarily hand-picking, but we are starting with stores that we know that are going to be very helpful to get CPGs eventually to agree to sponsor the group after the first of the year. Technically, the DBC begins October 30th. We're starting the first week of November. It should not impact your weekly ads or anything you're doing already. You don't have to do anything differently. It's going to be an overlay over top of what you're doing as we're starting in November. All stores in the DBC will begin the $100 a week membership the first week in November. Our goal is to get to 100 as quick as we can. There is no CPG funding promised until we reach the 100 stores, although we do expect that today we could get with CPGs and get them to partially sponsor the fees that you're paying. But we don't want anyone thinking that we've got the CPGs waiting in line to give us funding for the group until we get 100 stores. We do want to add enhancements to the DBC programs that we're going to be showing you, and those enhancements will be available to DBC members first. And we've got a couple that we'll be rolling out that you may not have heard about yet, but they'll be available to DBC members. Each store can choose optional alliances that you may have with other digital providers. We handle all the consumer touch points in technology, but you may want to work with your loyalty provider if you have one. Integrating digital coupons will work with you on that. We have stores that are doing banner placements or want to do banner placements on the web outside of their website so that it can attract people within, we'll say, a 6-mile radius of your store that are on other websites in that 6-mile radius to see your ads. We work with a company in Minneapolis to do that. That's optional. You may want additional specific signage to support campaigns, and AWG, I believe, has a printing department, and there's other printers that can do that for you as well. The marketing launch materials, that if you need it, then we'll help coordinate it. As an example, if and when you start online shopping, you're going to need to have specific marketing for your particular store, and we'll work with you on that. So what's really going to happen on November 1st? How would your customers know that you're even in a DBC on November 1st? Number one, on November 1st, all stores are going to have a home page, and we call it like a seasonal makeover. And we're going to show you pictures of all these things that will happen the first week of November. This is kind of a summary of how your customers would know that something new is happening at your store. November 1st, every store will have a digital signage playlist playing that will be shown on 3 media players that we're providing every store. So as they come into your store, they'll notice that. On November 1st, there will be additional Facebook posts that we'll be able to put on your Facebook site to supplement what you're already putting on that directly tie to the themes that we're promoting each month. November 1st, all stores will have near-field communication and beacon alerts activated for in-store content, and we'll be providing the content. So you'll be able to have NFC and beacon alerts, and we'll make sure that content is attached to it for you. November 1st, all stores should be able to launch Zoom online shopping if you wish. And I'll touch on this a little bit later. It's included in the program. November 1st through November 30th. For the entire month of November, we're launching a promotional website for your store with your logo. It's going to be linked from your home page. We're going to promote this website on your home page links, your home page slideshow. It'll be mentioned in weekly e-blast, and it'll be something new that Janet Smith here will be demonstrating in a minute or two. Towards the end of the week, November 3rd, we'll be sending out the first group-wide weekly e-blast. On Friday, November 4th, we'll be sending out the first group-wide weekly text deal. And on Friday, we're going to send out the first 8-item digital ad, weekend traffic builder ad. So when it comes to those tough decisions that will need to be made as to what is the best text deal, what is the best e-blast, what are the best 8 items that we can all live with, we're talking about 10 decisions a week. And they're not make or break decisions, but they're important decisions. And during November and December, there's plenty of opportunities to pick some really great items to build traffic and to bring new customers to your store. And so that's what will happen the first week in November, and we'll repeat each month going forward. So we'll start with your store website. We've created some transparencies that will slip behind the back of every website so that each month your website will have a different look to it, and that in addition to the aesthetics of having your website look a little bit different every month, up in the upper left-hand corner underneath your logo, you'll see a promotion that says text deals, and that you can receive text deals. Some of you already are doing this today. If you're not, we're going to set up a text deal database for you, and we'll begin promoting your text deals on your website. At the lower part of the page, you'll see those 3 clickable links. We're going to merge those 3 links into a bar that will promote your new microsite, your new monthly promotional microsite, so your customers will know how to find it. They go to your home page, they click that button, and they'll go right to your promotional microsite. We also have the homepage slides, and that we'll be putting a homepage slide up, encouraging customers to see your month-long promotional microsite. Now, your store website will look different each month in terms of aesthetics. So, and Janet Smith will be responsible for selecting whatever those backgrounds are. But as an example, here's one that could be November, and here's one that could be for December. So every month, those will be put together, and you'll see that the color coordination works with the backgrounds that she'll be selecting. You won't have to do anything. They will start at the beginning of the month, and they'll change at the end of each month. I'm going to turn it over to Janet, and she's going to talk about the promotional microsite or promotional website that each of you are going to get beginning November 1st.
So each month we'll develop one seasonally with a theme. I know, the goal is to eventually get CPG participation, and that will have a lot to do with the design, but for the first month or two, we will be responsible here for pulling together some content relevant to the season, making it interesting for your consumers. There we go. So we'll be doing articles, again, relevant to the season. We'll pull together a group of recipes. We've kept this general for the entire month of November, focusing on holiday foods as well, but also on seasonal items like this roast. We'll have a page for monthly special deals. It can be 4 to 6 to 8 items. Again, these will be something that will be good for the entire month. But we'll feature that. And coupons, we see in a page for seasonal coupons. We could do, $5 off purchase, something like that. But again, we'll pull that content together here with our with some research and put it together.
We believe that CPGs will be interested in wanting to participate with the group to see if they can have sponsorship of the monthly microsite as well as the textiles and the e-blast and social media postings, that there's CPG revenue, sponsorship revenue for that, and we expect that by the first of the year we'll build the group up and be able to start accepting those offers on your behalf. And by the way, I was in a Kroger store, a Fry's store last night, and every Kroger store in the nation, including all of their sister companies like Fry's here in Arizona and others around the country, are running a microsite, similar concept as what we're doing this month, called Taste of Italy. And as I went to the store, I took some snapshots of displays that they put up that will be up for the month, and special offers that resonate with that theme. And up to now, Kroger could do that because they can go ahead and just put that theme together and then have each of their divisions, hundreds and hundreds of stores around the country, crawl underneath that umbrella. And that's really something that we're looking at trying to accomplish and getting sponsorship to do for you folks as well. On the special delivery, there will be one per week for the group, and we'll be sending that out on your behalf. And there'll be every Friday a weekly text deal that will be sent out for everyone in the group. And then we're also, Janet mentioned the month-long 2, 4, 6, or 8 items for the entire month. Each week we'll have up to 8 items, and we'll probably begin with, for the first week in November, it might only be 4 items. But we want to have a weekend traffic builder digital ad that's emailed and put on your website. It's also will end up on your store app as well. Something that we can do to try to bring some extra traffic in on weekends. Every store will receive 3 digital media players, and I'm going to go ahead and launch a sample playlist. It's right here. Here we go. So digital signage is a great way to communicate with your customers, and it's a way that can get them to begin buying items that may not have been on their shopping list as they're shopping your store. And it's a great merchandising tool for stores that have it, and it can be educational. You could be informing your customers about the programs that you have. You can reinforce the holidays, depict different food events. And part of the problem that independent grocers have had with digital signage is getting content. That it's easy to get the TV up, and it's easy to go ahead and get it connected to, not easy, but they can get it connected to a network. What's difficult is making sure that the content is relevant and that it's timely and that it changes from time to time. So what we're doing in the DVC is that every store will get 3 digital media players, and we'll take care of putting together a playlist every week. And you'll notice that there's not price and item on these. They're mostly informational in nature. But because every store will have 3 digital media players for digital signage, we will teach everyone who's in the DVC in the stores that will be touching the network to be able to create your own customized additions to these playlists, so that if you want price and item, there's no additional fees. It's very easy to create it, and it's really designed for non-designers, but it's something that can look really attractive. And so if you do nothing and just turn the TVs on, then you will have a playlist that will have great content for your customers as they do their shopping. However, if you want to do more than that, and if you want to have additional, if you want to talk about your store-specific programs, signature brands, special price and items that you want to promote, there's no additional cost. You'll have access to that module, and you'll be able to update those. So this, again, is a real important area when it comes to us and the group talking to CPGs about sponsorships, because it's one thing to be promoting brands and items in a newspaper ad that maybe a lot of people don't see, or promoting it on a website that not everybody's going to see, but virtually every shopper will see what's in your store and what you're trying to communicate with them on your digital signage. How do I escape this? To the background. I'll just click on the background. Okay. That's digital signage that everyone's going to be getting, and we'll update the content for you. We're also, everyone, for the most part, is doing your own Facebook contest. We are going to be putting together Facebook posts for everyone in the group so that you'll have additional food-related content that's specific to members of the DVC. We're also, everyone in the group is going to get beacons and NFC alerts. And more importantly, we're going to be doing the content. So all you need to do is plug in the beacons. We'll recommend probably one to the front part of the store where customers come into your store, and one that's towards the back, might be towards the meat department. But we'll take care of attaching the content to these signs and to the beacons for you. Zoom Online Shopping. Everyone in the group will have Zoom Online Shopping, and everyone in the group will get the curbside pickup basic program at no out-of-pocket cost starting up and no out-of-pocket cost ongoing. So anybody who wants to have online shopping by November 1st, we can help you get that done. There are a lot of stores that will want to upgrade beyond the curbside pickup, and we can accommodate that as well. So everyone on this program will get the basic program, store curbside pickup, which means your customers order online and they place their order, they get a text message or email or both saying that the order is ready to be picked up. They make the appointment to pick it up. They come to your store, come inside your store, hand over their credit card, it's scanned and or swiped, and then put in their trunk. So there's no build fee of $500. We pay that, and there's no ongoing monthly fee, and that program's $100 a month, so we pay that as well. However, for stores that want to upgrade to the premium program, it's everything included in the curbside pickup, and there's an option for delivery in the future, either now or in the future, if the store wants to do that. We're finding some successes with local businesses buying from the store, so if you want that, it's available. It also allows you to accept credit card payments online, abandoned cart shopping reminders, emails to them saying you haven't finished your order. The future ability to integrate with loyalty-based programs, if it's available from your provider. If you're on the basic, we can't integrate it, but if you're on the premium, we can. And what we do is the same thing as the basic. If you want the premium, we give you the same exact dollar value. We give you a $500 credit towards the $1,000 one-time build fee. And then we give you the same $100 per month credit towards the $250 per month premium fee, $462 a week. Now, when you look at that $150 a month with the premium, that compares very favorably to anyone else that you may talk to that has online shopping, because they're starting at $150 per week, not per month. What we will need to know from every store in the DVC as quickly as possible is, do you want the basic, which is included? Do you want to upgrade to the premium, or do you want to pass? Because what we're going to do is, any store that is wanting to get on either the basic or premium, we want to get busy and get you up and running by the 1st of November, or whenever it is you're comfortable to launch. And if you don't want to do it, but you want to do it in the future, that's fine. When you're ready to go, we're ready to go. It looks like there's a question from Jesse. It says, what POS vendors have you talked to about online shopping? Can current tech be used? It's a great question, Jesse. We are working with RDS. Any stores that have S4, we've got a very, very fast track program that's available. If the store doesn't have the module with S4, then RDS can work with the store to get the module to upgrade. We have, I'm going to ask Paulino, who's the company down in Alabama that we work with?
Truno.
Yeah, Truno, and what is their, is it Lock?
Lock SMS?
Yeah, Lock SMS. So it varies, as you guys know, it varies between different providers and different local branches that sell that. I will tell you that if you have S4, then I know we can get you fast-tracked. If you don't, then what we'll do is give you a list. We'll give you something on a piece of paper you can hand off to your provider saying you need the ability to go ahead and transmit via FTP your current item files. And once they can do that, then we can get you online. Here's an example of a store that is in Opelika, Alabama, Wrights Market. Small store, small town. He started off with online shopping Monday through Friday only. It doesn't advertise it. He's mentioned it on Facebook, but he hasn't done any kind of serious advertising other than a TV commercial that he does locally. And it's not that you don't have the same response every week, but here are 3 of the weeks that he mentioned to me that, you know, for a store that is not a $60,000 or a 60,000 square foot Hy-Vee or 80,000 square foot Hy-Vee, it's a small store in a small community. You know, even doing 2 orders a day, 3 or 4 orders a day, his average is 5 times more than his brick and mortar average, so it's a great start. And in the case of this person, here's a YouTube.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Wright from Wright's Market.
And I am Emily Wright.
We're excited to announce our new online shopping program, Right to You.
Log into our site at wrightteyou.com, open an account, and start shopping.
When you finish shopping, check out, and then select if you'd like your purchases delivered to your home or business or pick up curbside here at the store.
Our personal shopper will select your purchases. Just park in one of our designated online pickup spaces, or we can deliver them to you.
Emily, I think I should drive.
So you would need to decide if you want to do online shopping. It's already included if you want to do it, and then we will work with you and your POS provider to get you up and going November 1st if you'd like to do that. We do recommend the crawl walk.
I'm a veterinarian in Opelika, Alabama. A lot of times people ask me, they say, well, how can a veterinarian stay up all night doing a
There we
C-section,
go.
saving a dog's life, and the next morning go out and
Enough of that. Okay. Right there? Right here. Thanks, Shane. Okay. The crawl, walk, run program. You can be up and going in 21 days. And here's what I was just mentioning. You need to get a hold of your provider immediately. Ask them if you have the setup in your back office, which would be S4 or lock SMS, to transmit your item file via File Transfer Protocol, FTP, for online shopping. Run a back office report from your back office, S4 we'll say, of all the item movement for the past 6 months, and just look at 80%. Don't worry about toothpicks and greeting cards that you're not going to be able to sell online, and have those transmitted. And S4 will know how to do that. We'll get you a proof within 48 hours of your website. And then we'll handle the training of the front end of your system that your customers will see and your back end of online shopping. So you just need to let us know which program you want, and we'll help as we can. And I see a question from Brent Bosch. It says, could you create a generic TV commercial that we can convert to a YouTube link that we could send to eBlast and TextBlast databases? Yeah, I think we can. But we'll need to look at how we can do that, kind of a donut approach where it might be just a generic spot, and then you would be able to perhaps customize the front with your logo or whatever. But I think that's a great idea. And Brent, this is the reason why I think it's important to do things as a chain, because it's going to be better for everyone to have a consistent message and to have something produced that everyone can benefit from without having to go out and do it on your own. So we'll put that on our list of things to investigate. Now, as we're wrapping up on all this stuff that's going to be happening and who's going to do what, the digital tools that will need to happen, that will be touched, start with the website. We're going to create the new look. We're going to put the text message program on your home page. If you're on online shopping, we're going to put it on your home page as well. We're going to put it on digital signage. The store app, we're going to post the weekly, your weekly 8-item ad, the coupons, the NFC offers, the beacon alerts. We'll take care of all of that. eBlast, we'll send it out. Digital signage, we're going to ship everybody 3 media players. And then we'll create the weekly playlist so that you'll have that fresh each week. Social Octane, we'll take care of posting it to your account. The Boost promotional microsite that Janet went over, that starts the first day of the month, ends the last day of the month. We'll take care of all of that, and we'll make sure that your logo is on it and it's linked to your website. And Zoom Online Shopping will help you on getting your online shopping site, and allow each of you to do your own promotions locally if you only want to do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or every day, or if you want to charge to pick the orders or whatever you want, it'll be customized for you. We just need to know which program you want. Now, what do you need to do in the stores? Website, you don't need to do anything. The store apps, you just need to make sure that the 2 beacons we're going to send you are plugged in by November 1st. And this won't be our last meeting. I'm just giving you kind of an overview, but we'll send out instructions. But November 1st, you need to have a beacon plugged near the front of your store and a second beacon plugged in somewhere back, perhaps around the meat department. The e-blast, we're going to take care of it. Digital signage. Every store will need to buy 3 LED screens, depending on whatever size store your store is, and you can decide what you want to get and buy your 3 screens. You'll need to get a mount for it, a portable mount, and you'll need the 3 media players, which we'll send you. Another question, are the media players Wi-Fi or how they connect? Every player is set up so that it is Wi-Fi, or if you want, it's Ethernet capable. Most stores are using store Wi-Fi. The Social Octane posting your Facebook, we do. The promotional microsite, we do. Online shopping, you would need to get with S4 or whoever your provider is, RDS, and get your first file sent via FTP. Once we get your first file sent, then we can expedite the launch. It's just getting that first file sent. And probably the most important thing is store communication with your employees. Have store employee meetings on this new digital marketing program, because you'll need everyone in the store behind you, and trying to get people to sign up for Text Blast and for the e-blast, promoting the fact that you've got this special monthly site that's out there as well. You need to get your employees involved in it, and we'll be helping you with that chore. Going back to every store needing to buy their own 3 screens. Day before yesterday, I went to bestbuy.com looking at retail. You can get TVs that are $119, $129 for 32-inch. You can get 40-inch screens. The one on top is from Best Buy, $179 for a 40-inch screen. On the bottom, I went to Costco. There's 39 and 40-inch screens for $229 to $289. So it is a one-time expense to buy the screen. They're LED. They should last you years because they're LED. Very, very lightweight. They're easy to hook up to a wall mount. I went to Amazon. The #1 selling wall mount on Amazon is this guy that's $25. It can hold a 55-inch LED, so any TV that you'd want to buy. If you want to mount it, then it's gonna be $25. If you want a portable stand, and some of the people on this call that already have digital signage have these portable stands where that with Wi-Fi, you can maybe put it in your front lobby, and then maybe the next week you can move it over to produce or wherever you want. Those are under $100. So you'll need to decide what brand of LED you want and what size, and then a way to mount it. Oh, here it is. Jesse said, let them know they do not have to buy a smart TV. Non-smart, you're exactly right, Jesse, because that will be an option. All you need is a LED that has at least one HDMI. You do not need a smart TV. You're not going to be using it for Roku or for other programs. You just need a flat screen that that has one HDMI in it, and you'll be fine. Now, the employee preparation. We recommend that you plan a employee meeting prior to the launch on November 1st. And we're suggesting that Halloween week, the week of the 24th, having a store meeting, letting the employees know that the program's going to start in a week on the 1st of November. That's when customers will notice all the activities happening. And we will provide a slideshow that you can use. So we'll put something up on YouTube or get you a presentation that what you'll need to do is just make sure that your employees see it so that they understand, how important it is, and the fact that you're going to be reaching new customers with the medias that are being used. Number two, stress with them the importance of signing up customers so that we can get them to sign up for your eBlast and text deals, and why it's valuable for them to do that. Three, the importance of the store app, letting customers know that they can get your app and that we're actually going to be putting content on it for you. You can still put it on yourself, but we're going to make sure that if you do nothing, at least all of your beacons and NFC signs will have links. Number four, the importance of the monthly promotional microsite. It's a month-long digital theme. It's going to allow you to put up seasonal displays and not have to take them down every week, and have a month-long theme. Number five, understanding Zoom online shopping and what it can do for your store. And the busy moms that have 3 youngsters and that they just don't want to spend time grocery shopping with 3 kids in the cart, they're going to start using online shopping, and you'll start seeing new customers. Matter of fact, Jimmy Wright had mentioned to me this past week that he looked at his list of online shoppers from last week, and he didn't know any of them. So it is a way of getting new people to shop with your store. And number 6, the importance of knowing when digital offers are being launched, so there's no surprises at the check stand. It'd be a real shame if we had this great DVC program with all these promotions launching and customers getting these offers and going to the check stand and the cashier saying, I didn't know anything about that. I'm going to have to talk to someone to see whether this is legit or not. So it's really important to make sure that, and we'll help with this, but you'll need to communicate with all of your employees, this is what's going to be happening this week so that they're aware of it. And obviously, you'll need to put the PLUs in your system, but just education in general. I'll just touch on CPG sponsorship. We do need to get it to 100 stores. Then we can sit across the table from the CPGs and negotiate. I think when we get to about 75 or 100, then we'll probably look at taking the decision of picking those 10 items each week, the text, the eBlast, and the 8-item ad, that we'll probably move it to an assigned merchandiser who's going to be negotiating with the CPGs on your behalf. It could be someone from within your group. It could be someone at AWG if you want that to happen. But it needs to be someone that has visibility with CPGs to negotiate on your behalf. For November and December, we'll be selecting them, and that we hope by January and future months it can go to that person. And until we reach critical mass, your current weekly ads will just continue going on. It's just going to be supplementing what you're doing. And it's a great time of year. There's a lot going on in November and December, so there'll be plenty of content. And then lastly, all members, you can decide if and when you want to stop any of your current digital promotions. When you're comfortable that you like the eBlast and you like the text deals, if you're already doing them now, then you can just stop paying us to do it. You can just use the DVC because it's included in your weekly cost. And I'm going to end with the very first slide when I talked about you are going to be part of the first digital virtual chain of independent grocers in the nation, and that we're really ecstatic about being able to put this program together and help independent retailers have opportunities that otherwise they wouldn't have on their own, or they wouldn't have their own resources on staff to do it on their own. It does allow you to be part of a chain while maintaining all of your independence and do what you need to do in your store to compete. And that we do know that there's opportunities for CPG sponsorship, and that we're going to keep you current on digital marketing services so that things don't get stale, and that we are going to stress that we understand that you don't have time on top of everything else that you're doing to be planning and executing these things. So we're going to take take responsibility for making this as turnkey as we can. So with that, I'm going to unmute here in a second, but I want to thank you all for your participation. If you are already part of a group that is committed, we will be getting back to you. We intend to put together like a newsletter that we can send out with updates to those that are in this group. We'll be having periodic calls to make sure everyone is in sync for the kickoff on November 1st. With that, I'm going to go ahead and unmute it, or ask someone here to unmute it. So if you have any questions, you feel free to ask. And there are some people on the call today that are listening in and have not committed. If there's any questions, whether you're in the group or thinking about the group, feel free to ask. If there's no questions, we won't keep you any longer. Or if you have any questions that you prefer just asking Matt or myself individually, or anyone on our team here, feel free to do so. We realize that we're not giving you the level of detail you need for this very first call. We just wanted to kind of paint with a broad brush what's going to happen November 1st. And we'll get down to the details over the next 30 days or so. But we're going to be working hard to get the group to 100 and hopefully find ways to get you some CPG funding to offset the cost. Are there no questions? I don't want to hold everyone up. It's Friday, and I'm sure everyone's busy. But if there's no questions, we'll go ahead and sign off.
This is Matt. Let me just give everyone my cell phone number in case you do have questions, because it's usually easier to reach me on my cell, and that's 828-455-3244. 828-455-3244. And it's the cell, so if you want to send me a text to call you back at a certain time too, that's fine. But just want to make it easy to get in touch.
Okay, with that, thanks everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll be back in touch with you as soon as we have some more details to share with you. Thank you.